All right, we're here in Denver at the Gothic Theater with Marc Rizzo of Soulfly. How you doing, Mark?
Great, really good.
Good. Just starting the tour. You said fourth gig into the tour right now.
Yeah, fourth show of the tour and first week of the tour, so it's been good.
When do you have free time to do anything?
Never. I don't have.
And what do you do in your free time when you have free time? I mean, you have Cavalera Conspiracy, you have your solo stuff going on, then you have Soulfly. Do you ever have any time to do anything back home or anywhere?
You know, I'm like never home anymore, and yeah, I really don't have any free time, you know, and I try to think I have some free time, you know, but I really don't. I really spend all my time playing guitar and writing music and then touring, you know. Like you said, if I'm doing Soulfly Cavalera Conspiracy, and if I do have time off from that, then I go right out with my solo band. So, you know, this is what I love to do, and I just want to continue doing it.
You don't get in the lyrics. You don't write any of the lyrics for Soulfly or Cavalera, is that correct?
Yeah, I don't write any.
Is that something that you think about maybe in the future about contributing that way, or are you not much into the lyrics, lyric end of it, or is there a particular reason? Or
yeah, you know, I'm really not into lyrics. You know, I mean, I listen to a lot of instrumental guitar music, obviously, and I'm really into that, you know, scene in that world. So I don't really get too into lyrics. You know, I have another project that I do some lyric writing for, a death metal project called Inpsychobleedia. But I do vocals in that, so I have to write lyrics. But I don't really wanna, you know. I'm just into music, man. I really don't care about lyrics too much, you know. It's just, you know, not really my thing.
If you got into the lyrics more, is there a certain topic you would cover, politics, anything in general that you would tend to want to write about?
Yeah, I mean, I think with that death metal project I have, you know, all my lyrics that I do write for that is all about just like history. I'm really into history. You know, when I'm home, when I am home, if I do have a hobby, actually, back to that question, when I'm home, is I like to just hang out and watch the History Channel, play guitar. So a lot of my lyrics that I write for that band are about historical things, you know. And Max also writes a lot like that too on the newest Soulfly record and the new Cavalera Conspiracy record. It seems, you know, he's starting to get into writing about historical, you know, figures from the past and stuff, which is really cool because I'm really into history. So I think it's definitely mostly a lot of the Soulfly Cavalera Conspiracy fans, but I think now we're starting to attract the more instrumental guitar audience. You know, I mean, I'm really trying to you know, get more of those kids coming out to the shows, which are the guitar fans that are out there that are really into instrumental guitar music. So it's a good mixture, and it's funny to see at the shows because you'll get those people that are into the instrumental guitar music, and you know who they are because they're always hanging out just like this with their arms folded, you know. And then you get the more Soulfly fans come out and they're slam dancing. So it's funny to see, you know, those kids kind of get the variety, and then to see them clash in the mosh pit. So it's pretty funny. But you know, it's cool. I mean, I would like to have more of that you know, instrumental guitar music crowd, you know, coming out to the show more, because I definitely think you know, obviously that's the type of music I'm writing with my solo stuff. So, you know, I think hopefully in the future we'll have more of that audience coming out too. I think first, you know, when I first started playing guitar when I was 8 years old, I was really into Led Zeppelin was probably the first band that I got into. So that being said, you know, Zeppelin always explored different types of music. So, you know, growing up listening to Jimmy Page, who was one of my biggest influences and still is, you know, he always did all types of different music on his records. You'd hear acoustic guitar, you'd hear electric, blues, some jazz, some, you know, classical things, you know. So I think just from that, if you're a fan of Zeppelin, you're exposed to so many different types of music. So from then on, I just always just really was into guitar music, whether it's thrash metal, death metal, or hardcore punk, or instrumental guitar music, or jazz, or flamenco. I love guitar music, and I just love listening to music that is driven by great guitar playing.
I understand you don't drink.
Occasionally I find myself when I have to fly. I hate flying, so that kind of, takes the bumps out of the turbulence. But yeah, I try not to. Yeah, definitely no drugs. I mean, I have no interest in drugs at all. At all. Never have. I mean, it's just the way I was brought up, and obviously, I mean, how many people have you seen throw their career away from drugs? I mean, it's kind of stupid to, in this day and age, to dabble in drugs, and be a musician, obviously. So, not for me.
Did Max originally find you? How did you depart El Nino, and how did that process take place, and what made you want to, enter Soulfly?
It's pretty ironic because when we started El Nino, over like 10 years ago, we were really influenced by Sepultura and Soulfly, especially with Soulfly, So when I quit El Nino in like 2003, it was like literally, the next day I got asked to join Soulfly, which was like really cool because I had originally just quit because I just wanted to just do my solo stuff and, just get more into more musical things. And then I got the phone call from our record company, Roadrunner Records, if I'd be interested in joining Soulfly literally the next day after I quit, which was really surprising, because I didn't know, what was in store. And it was great, I mean, it's been such a great experience, playing with Max and being part of this band and traveling all over the world and stuff. And it all just happened really quick, because I went from being in a local band like we were with El Nino back in like, early 2099, to then 1 minute just hitting the road. And our first tour ever with El Nino was opening up for Soulfly. So it's pretty funny to go from that to then being in Soulfly and then to join Cavalera Conspiracy has been like one of my, real big achievements. Like I was such a big fan of Max and Igor and Sepultura growing up as a kid. So to be asked to be part of that project, it was, I was really honored to be part of it. So yeah, it's crazy how things worked out.
Most of the fans that attend Soulfly shows, whether it's Europe or it's the United States or wherever in the world, do you tend to get that crossover where it's pretty much the same fans, or do you get fans that are only in a Cavalera Conspiracy? More of a punk kind of feel of that band, a little bit different, but similar on a lot of levels. What do you find? Pretty good transition, pretty good, about the same type crowds that like both bands, or just one or the other?
Yeah, I think, if you're a Soulfly fan, you're going to be a Cavalera Conspiracy fan. I think with the Cavalera Conspiracy, though, we get a lot of those old Sepultura fans that maybe not, didn't come out much in the past, that are now coming out for Cavalera Conspiracy because Max and Igor are back together and writing raging thrash metal, and we're playing a lot of those old Sepultura songs in the set. So it's a cool show, and I think a lot of those older metal fans are really digging the Cavalera Conspiracy.
Everybody says heavier all the time, but
yeah,
Inflicted was pretty heavy.
Exactly. Everyone always says heavier, but seriously, this record is definitely a step up with the heaviness. I mean, it really, it's almost death metal. It's definitely, it's more thrashy, but there's parts on the record, man, where it's like, damn, it could even be like a Cannibal Corpse song, who I'm a big fan of, which is cool. I mean, I'm glad we're continually going into that direction of just being more brutal and heavy with the music and more technical and getting the riffs more intricate and more melodic, and I think even, on my side of things, I've really tried to step it up with my solos and get more melodic and more shreddy on the record. But also, I think the new Cavalera Conspiracy record and the last Soulfly record, like I'm also trying to do like some like unorthodox things, like weird things, instead of just shredding. Like everybody's shredding nowadays, and I love it. It's great. It's amazing. But I'm trying to also just do some different weird ideas also. So.
Together at the house and
yeah,
do it on your own.
I think it already has. I mean, I think a lot of big studios have already gone out of business, and most people are just doing it on their own, which is cool, because you can really just make your own record and get it out there and promote it yourself. I mean, that's the way you have to do it nowadays, and really just you got to definitely just do it all on your own nowadays. And then if something comes out of it, and you catch label's attention, then so be it. But otherwise, you really have to just do it all yourself, record your own stuff and promote it, and thank God you got the internet to do that and stuff, because there really isn't too many labels that are really supporting, metal, it seems these days. So yeah, really my new record, I just wound up putting out myself and on iTunes, and when we go on tour, I just do it myself, basically. I have, yeah, sell CDs at the shows and stuff, and it's cool. I love doing it like that. There's really no, it'd be great to have a label to help out, but I mean, I don't know too many labels that want to put out instrumental guitar music anymore, so, and that's fine. That's cool with me, because I love doing what I do, and if labels don't get it or some people don't get it, that's cool, because I mean, I love it. I instrumental guitar music, guys like Joe Satriani and Yngwie Malmsteen and Greg Howe, stuff like that. I mean, that's the music I love. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, whether a label wants to put it out or not. I don't care. I love doing what I do. So
what do you think about the future? Do you think it's going to get any better?
I definitely. Obviously, I think in the 80s and the early 90s, metal was definitely a lot bigger here in the States. I was a young kid then, so I didn't really, was part of that as far as like trying to make a living, from music and stuff. But I think in Europe it's still huge. So it's like if you're a metal band, obviously tour America because we love it here. I love touring America still, but with Soulfly and Cavalera Conspiracy, we most of our touring is done in Europe just because it's still like mainstream out there. The fans are just so hungry for metal music and they really support it. Whereas here in America, it's underground, and it seems like kids are more into hip hop and stuff nowadays. But for me, I can't complain. I mean, again, I'm really grateful to be where I am right now, doing Soulfly and Cavalera Conspiracy and my solo stuff. So I can't say it sucks because I mean I'm really happy with my career up to now. But yeah, I do think it's definitely a lot harder. I mean a lot of the labels are going under, and it's harder to make a living, I think, off playing music. And it's crazy because to me, heavy metal musicians, we're like the last real musicians out there that are study our instruments and learn how to play and put all this time into learning how to play your instrument. And we're like the last out there that are really pushing that musicianship and trying to make a living off being a musician.
Across the board, United States to European venues, are they really similar in terms of sound quality and everything else, all the other stuff that goes? What do you find better?
I'm American, and I love America. I love living here, but I'll tell you, in Europe, they just really, they treat the metal bands like real musicians, and they treat the bands with total respect. And you're playing, most of the clubs you play are state of the art, clubs, state of the art sound systems. Great, sound guys. I mean, everything from catering to, I mean, not that we need that special treatment, but it puts on a better show for the fans, definitely. When you go to a show and you got pro equipment and pro sound guys and lights and, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy playing the VFW still, or American Legion with no PA like I grew up as a kid. I mean, that's cool too, But in Europe, they really go the extra mile, and again, it's just metal is just so much bigger in Europe and just so much more appreciated than it is here, and that's why we tour Europe for most of the year, because it's just the treatment is just 100 times better, and I don't know why. I can't. Maybe it's our economy. I don't know what it is.
Well, that should do it, I guess. Have a good rest of the tour.
Thank you.
I appreciate for you taking the time out.
Yeah, man. Thanks
today for this, and hope things go well for you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man.